Greetings, one and all. I'm Caleb Steindel. This is NFL Talk, the podcast. Thanks for listening today. There is a massive thunderstorm going on right outside the studio. It's Monday, July 25th, on a hot and toasty day in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where I am broadcasting to you, not live. One of the reasons being because of the possibility that the power will go out. The storm is starting to clear up, however, so I don't expect it'll be hanging around too much longer. Temperatures today were floating around 100 degrees. It is indeed a toasty one. Hot enough to fry an egg on the sidewalk. However, I did not try that. Probably should, though. I probably should. If I do, I'll definitely film it and share it with you guys. That would be interesting. Anyways, we'll definitely have to try that. We should do like some sort of a contest for that. It's Monday, July 25th. Kicking off the week, right, with sports. The NFL particularly. And August is almost here. And August means football, training camp, preseason football. And September is when the regular season starts. If you were able to deduce this from the title, today's podcast will be centered around the Pittsburgh Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell, who, according to ESPN's Dan Granziano about 3 days ago, will reportedly face a 4-game suspension for violating the league's substance abuse policy. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport followed up with a report that says that Bell missed several drug tests, which you may be wondering, that's not the same thing as failing a drug test, but in NFL terms, it pretty much is. There's not that much of a difference. In fact, I doubt there is a single difference. I don't think there's a single difference. The subject was first breached by Pittsburgh's radio personality Mark Madden. He first touched on the possibility about a month ago, and no one really listened to him, but they should have, considering Bell's track record. Last year, he was suspended for the first 2 games for actually failing a drug test, if I remember correctly, if my memory serves me. So it's not really that much of a surprise that his suspension is now getting doubled, even though he did just miss some drug tests. And I think it was about 4 drug tests. Checking it out here, but it was just according to Ian Rappaport out of NFL Network. 4-game suspension is the result of, quote, several, unquote, missed drug tests. So, I'm not sure where I heard 4. Maybe it was just the 4-game suspension thing that threw me off track. Either way, we're expecting an appeal, as he has come out and said that he is appealing, and he came out with a pretty confident quote. He took to Instagram to state the following. He said, quote, "I'm gonna win the appeal," unquote. Then later he says, quote, "When I end up missing no games at all, people for sure are gonna try to love me again," unquote. I love his grammar, first of all. It's excellent. Either way, I like that Bell is acting bold here, but I hate to disagree with him. He's not going to win this. The Steelers have apparently known about this for some time. In fact, they've already reportedly installed Williams as the starting running back for the Steelers in the first 4 games of the season. If you remember last year, Williams was not too shabby in the first 2 games when Bell was absent. First 2 games of the 2015 season, 21 carries, 127 yards, 5 yards through the air as well. Game 2, 20 carries, 77 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then 4 catches for 15 yards. So expect Williams to put up some numbers. I expect the Steelers will be fine. I don't think it's quite the same as a Patriots team minus Tom Brady, but I think it's actually similar. Because arguably, these are the two best players on their respective teams, Brady on the Patriots and Bell on the Steelers. I mean, you could argue for Antonio Brown and Rob Gronkowski, of course. But it's similar situations. I expect both teams will be fine. Don't worry, I'm a Steelers fan as well. I wouldn't deceive myself. I think the Steelers will be fine. However, they will definitely miss him. The good news for them is Bell will have an extra month to get completely healthy from his torn ACL last year. And that's something that not a lot of people are taking into consideration. He's still coming off an ACL injury. And it happened late in the year, so it's going to take him a little bit longer to get back in shape and get healthy again. And he has a shortened period of time to be able to do that if he wanted to be ready. So this month is going to help Bell get healthy 100%, get back to 100% instead of maybe coming out as a 75% healthy Le'Veon Bell. Taking a look at their schedule here, first 4 games of the season, they're at Washington, the Steelers that is. They're home to Cincinnati, they're at Philadelphia, and home to Kansas City. I'm not expecting Bell's absence to really shake up any of these games. The Chiefs should be a tough run defense. Bengals, really the Redskins too. They're going to face some tough run defenses here in the first 4 weeks. But I still expect Le'Veon Bell and even Fitzgerald Toussaint. You know, if you remember how he performed last year in their win over the Bengals in the playoffs, of course had that costly fumble against the Broncos. The Steelers have depth at running back. They recently acquired Darrell Richardson too to back up Toussaint and Williams, and of course Bell. But I don't think things will be all that much different. He's going to appeal, but Bell is not going to win his appeal. At least I don't think so. I, in fact, don't really think there's much chance at all. In terms of fantasy, it's interesting to look at here because we dealt with a similar situation. If you want to draft Le'Veon Bell, draft D'Angelo Williams as well. And don't release him after the first 4 games of the season. Because Bell, while I wouldn't say he's necessarily incredibly injury-prone, there's always a chance that if he gets a season-ending injury, your whole fantasy lineup is going to be toast. Because he's a guy that could be the cornerstone of your team, and should be. In fantasy, I'm bumping Bell down a few pegs. He's going to be clearly, for me, behind Adrian Peterson, Todd Gurley, David Johnson, and probably Ezekiel Elliott and Devontae Freeman, too. Possibly even guys like Doug Martin and Lamar Miller, because I'm expecting big seasons out of them, too. If you can get Le'Veon Bell and D'Angelo Williams both, you're set. You're going to be fine. Should be a problem. But there's some obvious concern there if he's the only one, if he's your number one back. You need to have some insurance for the first 4 weeks, for the first month. Unless the rest of your team is totally stacked that you can make up for it, which would be a difficult feat to accomplish. I'm not expecting Bell to win this appeal. In my mind, there's about a 10% chance he wins this appeal, considering his track record and the situation. I mean, I think it was an idiotic thing for Bell to do. Skip these drug tests. Unless he knew that he was going to fail, unless he was deliberately overdosing on drugs. I don't know why else he would. And this lame Instagram post, yes, it's lame. When I end up missing no games at all, people for sure are going to try to love me again. I love Bell, but this was stupid. It's a stupid thing to do. It was moronic. He's still confident that he's going to win the appeal, but I am not. Steelers will be fine. Bell's going to come back healthier than ever. I don't think this is necessarily a huge blow to the Steelers. However, keep an eye on Bell, especially into next year, because he's not exactly the most perfect NFL player in terms of off-the-field issues. So I'm keeping my eye on Bell and hoping that he doesn't keep up his idiotic and just plain stupid behavior like this. Let me know what you think. At NFL with Caleb. NFL Talk with Caleb Stein on Facebook. Join the Google Plus community. Find us on YouTube where you can check out all the podcasts. But let me know what you think. Preferably tweet me, and I will probably have a poll up as well. I might have multiple polls. Should Le'Veon Bell have gotten suspended? Also, will he win his appeal? Expecting Williams to be the workhorse for the Steelers. Still a huge Steelers fan, and I'm expecting Williams to put up some numbers. Only time will tell how things really play out. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Like I said, you can find all the podcasts on YouTube. You can find the newest podcasts on Spreaker and SoundCloud. And we will see you guys later. Thanks for listening. Peace out.